Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by English Mountain Spring Water, folks. When it comes to crystal clear, perfectly pure East Tennessee drinking water, English Mountain Spring Water is the most tried, true, tested, taste test awarded. Let me try and make that clear. They do their own testing. They do the state testing, all the testing you're supposed to do, and then they do these taste tests. They score through the roof on everything. Just fantastic water. I have it delivered to my home. We have it here on the set every week. It is fantastic. Visit their website. Learn more about English Mountain Spring Water. Any size bottle you need, they can have it delivered to your home or your office, just like I do. English Mountain Spring Water. All right, quick segment here to end it. And whenever we do one of these, it's because I want to say something. But the gist is, if you have one piece of advice to give to Jeremy Pruitt, let's say he survives. He's got 1 year to turn this thing around. What's your one piece of advice that he must follow this year?
You have to change what you've been doing offensively, whatever your thought process has been with that side of the ball. You have to score points. Defense needs to improve in some ways, but if you're going to compete with the best teams, or even not some of the best teams, Ole Miss is on the schedule. They score points. You better be ready to score points, better figure out how to do that offensively, and if you have the coaches that can do it.
Okay. Jimmy, what's your
This
word?
probably doesn't fit into your umbrella, but you got to find a quarterback that's elite. And that leads kind of what Josh is talking about. You got to score points, but you can't be playing 3 or 4 quarterbacks in a season. You got to find somebody. Maybe they don't have that guy, but that's what you've got to do, in my opinion, to take the next step.
Just find somebody on the transfer market if you can.
Yes.
Yeah. David, what's your piece of advice?
I mean, 3 words he should know pretty well. Trust the process. There's a fine line between oversight and meddling, and when things go bad, he drifts into that meddling side, and I don't think it makes things better. We saw it in year 1. We saw it again this year. You know, too many hands in the cookie jar. Let your coaches coach. You hired him to do that, and Tennessee didn't do that this year.
Yeah. Mine would be when you're hiring assistants, worry about good on-field coaches. If they're great recruiters, that's terrific. But if you don't have a good year this year, it doesn't matter what Jimmys and Joes they bring in for the following guy, because it won't be you. You need to worry more about X's and O's this offseason. I think they've made mistakes in the past few years by building their staff with an eye toward recruiting over on-field coaching. You can't afford it this year. Can't do it. You better find the best on-field coaches you can find to absolutely milk the most out of these guys, because if you don't, there is no year 5. So to me, it's X's and O's, not Jimmys and Joes. That's all I wanted to say. Does anyone have there, after we've heard 4 of them, which one's the most true? I think probably the one that's the most difficult, which is find you an excellent quarterback. I think that's probably the one that would fix most would be that.
To put theirs together, it's easier to find a good quarterback if you've got an offense that the quarterbacks see and say, I want to play in that. If you're a quarterback and you watch Tennessee's offense this year,
right?
Who's saying that? I'm not saying that. And Ty Simpson's out there, and that's he's got a lot of Tennessee ties, and maybe he's that guy. But if you put a great quarterback in this offense, is he going to be productive and do the things you need him to do? No. I'm saying no on that.
David, Jimmy, Josh, thank you all very much for being here. Thanks to Chuck and Mark earlier. Thanks to you for joining us. Thanks to all our sponsors for doing this. Since 2003 to 2021, we appreciate all of you. See you next week right back here. I'll Learn to Talk on the Sports Source.